Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in to round 22, the final round on the calendar today here at Abu Dhabi and Savior 6 Racing League. Today we will determine who the top 10 will be, still with the Mexico race potentially being rescheduled on the calendar. We may need to wait for that, but definitely a very good chance to try to finalize and secure your seat in the top 10 and earn a full-time seat for next season. Out here today, we have a 19-driver grid. One of the drivers will be joining us late. We ride on board right now with Knight Katze in the Mercedes driver. Started off the year on fire, but recently has been struggling a little bit. Has fallen down to 11th place, so currently one spot out of the automatic promotion, automatic, whatever you want to call it, earning your spot in next season. If he doesn't get in the top 10, he will fall into the playoff event where we will have a bunch of drivers racing to try to earn those final 10 seats on the grid. We're here today at Abu Dhabi. All the drivers out on those soft tires, as you can see right now. Only other driver not on the softs is Rivas Island. Get the track map turned on here. Piers Knight is the first driver on a flying lap or here around the Abu Dhabi circuit. Now these soft tires, we do a full qualifying session, so you'll see a lot of people out on the soft tires here. Q2, you'll probably see a few guys wanting to try to start on the medium tire. The soft will last about 11 to 12 laps, but you will only maintain that optimal pace for about 6 laps. They will start falling off drastically. They won't pop, but you will lose quite a bit of pace. The softest composite tires, the C5, C4, and C3 here at the Yas Marina circuit. And you see Knight hooking that inside curb, just what you want to do, helps keep the car stable. If you drift wide there's a little bit of a bump, and it can really unsettle the car and really upset your exit onto the second DRS straight. The circuit has gotten some pretty bad raps about not being able to overtake in real life, but here, we see Knight DSQing his lap. Try to hop on board with the Ferrari behind. See if Key is currently on the lap, if we can get there. It appears to be Sohan is actually the Ferrari that's next up. Currently on a valid lap. Yellow flag sector 1 and 2 right now. Just Rivas getting out of the way on those intermediate tires here. Casey does go into the water. We'll see the first time on the board here today is going to be set by Sohan Matthew in the Ferrari, a 1:35.5, a solid time to be the first time on the board there. You see RV Draco coming across about a second behind in the AlphaTauri. He got very good points last week, finishing last race at Brazil, not last week. Excuse me. Finishing P5 at Brazil. We also, JST unable to make it here today, but I want to give him props, finishing P7 at Brazil. A very good performance from both those drivers to try to earn some points here towards the end of the season, to try to earn a spot in next season. We see Ricky Starr going fastest overall, though, a 1:35.1 from the Mercedes driver, and on his debut, Serial Killer with a 1:35.2. Hopping on board with Owen Wilson, he has been one of the quicker drivers over the second half of the season since he earned his full-time seat, originally driving with full-time with Alfa Romeo, and he goes with a 1:34.6. An absolutely flying lap, but it's put to shame by Granny, who goes over a second faster with a 1:33.5. What a lap there. Cobalt on his outlap. Rivas still going around on the intermediate tires. And we see Knight, I believe, on a flying lap right now, coming around the penultimate curve and onto the front straight. Drifts a little bit wide, definitely very squirmy there. But he is able to get up to P5. Start-finish line very close to that first turn. It is before all the grid slots on the track. So Knight is able to set a 1:35.2 on 3-lap old softs, but it will not matter here. Q2, the top 10 who advance, will be starting the race on whatever tire they set their fastest lap on. So it does not matter here. You just want to try to go fastest. We have Purple Catfish here too. Purple Catfish has made it as well. So we should have a full grid here today. We're going to try to go and get Majestic another invite just to make sure he can rejoin the lobby if necessary. We did see him disconnect there. Catfish on a, not on a flying lap. He's on a, it's very odd, showing a 2-minute time right now on Purple Catfish. Don't know what's going on there, but might just be a glitch with the system. May not have picked him up at the start-finish line. So hopefully it'll fix itself when he goes to finalize that flying lap attempt. 10 minutes, 30 seconds left in Q1 here today. Currently 12 drivers with a time on the board, 11 drivers with actual times on the board. So we watch Pocket Dog here. He's been doing very well in the F2 Invitational events recently. He's going to go up to P10 right there with a 1:36.8, so showing a little bit of pace. Getting ahead of King Caesar. We will have the top 15 here from this session will be advancing. Oh, and Catfish is now on that flying lap, so don't know if he spun in Sector 1 or what happened there. But he is out now for his first flying lap, showing a purple Sector 1. Don't know how true that is. It's Cobalt sets a 1:34.2, splitting Owen and Granty, P2, where he typically has been most of the season so far. Knowing Light and Mooks do have a quali ban, so we will not see them out here on the circuit. Hash yet to come out for a lap, though. That is very surprising from the Alfa Romeo driver trying to earn points. The top reserve so far this season, with 42 total points on the season as a reserve, would put him up tied for 12th position with Chief Chris, who's been a full-time driver. So a very good performance this season from Hash, with only racing in, I believe, less than half the races. 8 races total there from Hash, and a just absolutely stunning performance whenever he races. So definitely a driver to watch here today. We finished Purple Catfish's lap here in Sector 3. Your tires are absolutely on fire here through this final sector. They're just screaming for you, and that's the downside here is if you have high downforce, you can be really quick in this last sector, but it's going to make you a little bit slower in those first 2 sectors, and you need a little bit less downforce to be able to try to get some overtakes done. And we see there Catfish struggling a little bit, didn't get very much practice in, but he's here now, and he's P12, 3/10 off his teammate in 11th. Only need to be top 15 here, though. Appears the only driver yet to set a lap that is currently setting a lap is Walker in the Williams. Recently switched over the wheel about halfway through the season and hasn't completed a race since. Very hard to build that consistency, though, up to a 50% race. He has that consistency in the 5-lappers and some 25%. And he almost finished in Singapore until the rain started. But there it is. You can see he still has that pace, just needs to build the consistency. A 1:33.9 from Walker in the Williams. Can he capitalize here on the season finale and maybe get one more win in his back pocket? 2 wins on the season. Vietnam and Silverstone at his home Grand Prix, stealing it away from Granny. A very good time there from Walker. Hopefully he can keep improving with that. We have Pocket Dog and Catfish still going back to the pits, and then a bunch of other drivers currently on their out laps right now. Being led by King Caesar, currently P14. Chief Chris, P15. Revis Island, the first driver to not make the gap, but yet to set a time. So we're waiting for these drivers behind. Only 2 drivers here will be cut. We watch King Caesar starting his lap in the Red Bull. Granny has not really had a teammate all season, but Ethan has been picking up recently. Had a couple quali bans, but the back half here of the season here, Ethan has been steadily improving. And actually did very well the last few races, getting some solid points for the Red Bull team. P6 at Brazil was an absolutely amazing performance. Quite a few DNFs in that race, though. And not here today, unfortunately. So it's going to not help him move up into the top 10. He did have a chance. We watch King Caesar takes it a little bit too tight there. You saw him run a little bit deep at the end of that first DRS straight. And it's going to cost him on his exit onto the second DRS straight down here. Coming down through turns 11, 12, 13. And then you set up for this flat-out run. You remember back, I forget what year, I think 2014, I want to say. Nico Rosberg running into the back of an HRT here, an absolutely massive collision. Probably the biggest of Nico Rosberg's career. Flying off in that sector. But you're coming here into the final turn. Down to the front, on the front the start-finish line. Wow, can't talk right now. But it's not faster for King Caesar, so we'll see. Maybe he had a little bit of fuel in the car. He is less than 50% overtake, though. So not ideal. You can see the nameplate there from Rivas, one of the features about this track. It is a pit lane on the outside, but the drivers re-enter on the inside of the circuit due to the tunnel going underneath, where the drivers will rejoin in the outside for turn 3 due to safety. You see the McLaren cutting the line, but avoiding the driver. Maybe going to try to give the Red Bull a little bit of slipstream here. See if King Caesar is on a hot lap. A very quick Sector 1. Sector 2, just basically 2 straight lines. See if he can brake a little bit earlier here. He still runs just a little bit deeper than you probably would like to. Oh, and that's not ideal. See him spinning the wheels a bit. Has to get off the power, let the car recover before he can get back on there. DRS wide open now, though, as he comes to the end of Sector 2. Let's see his time. He's 2 seconds down. So we'll switch off him. We'll look to see who else. Chief Chris still in the pits. 4 minutes to go here in Q1 right now. Rivas Island on his out lap. We're going to see Purple Catfish trying to improve his lap here. Currently a 136.9. Usually much quicker than that, though, with Catfish P6 in the standings right now. All but assuredly having his seat locked up for next season. Shows purple Sector 1 again, but I believe that's just because he joined late. We see yellow flags around the circuit. Drivers getting out of the way or running out of fuel here. He's got a Ferrari ahead of him. Hopefully gets out of the way. He's going to try to use him for a little bit of slipstream. Sohan really not wanting to help him. Trying to maybe help his teammate. Nope, not going to give slipstream to Chief Chris as he is on an out lap. Or Chief Chris not going to give... Oh, Sohan is actually the one that just finished the lap. That's confusing. Sohan is the one going slowly, so I guess he finished his lap. Or invalidated. But we have Purple Catfish here coming to the end of Sector 2. Let's see the sector time here. Currently 7/10 up on his fastest lap. And can make up a lot of time in this final sector. We saw him really struggling through here on his last flying lap attempt. So let's see if he can get a little bit closer to safety here. He's on pace to move up a little bit, but not into the top 10 right now unless he can absolutely nail this final sector. Looks a lot better than it did last time. Looks like it might be good enough for maybe a P11, P10 from Catfish here. Let's see how well he can hit this final turn. And that is an absolutely amazing final sector there from Catfish. And there it is, P11 from the AlphaTauri driver. Not where he normally is, but it's very hard when you don't get the practice in. I'll hop down to Rivas as he is the next driver trying to set a time currently almost 24 seconds up on his fastest lap attempt, which was set on the intermediate tires for some reason. All the drivers, though, currently using the soft tires, so would tell me we see the drivers looking to go on to the medium tires in Q2, at least a lot of the faster runners. Soft to hard is possible here. Softs, we mentioned before, go about 12 laps, only have about 6 laps of actual life in them. They'll start falling off pretty drastically at that point, but won't get into puncture territory until about lap 11 or 12. The hards can pretty much go the entire distance, about 22 laps of this 28-lap Grand Prix. They are about 2 seconds a lap slower than new softs. You see Rivas crossing the line. It's going to be P6 for Rivas. We'll hop down to the next driver that's trying to clear his way off the bottom. Currently 2/10 up on his fastest lap through Sector 1. We pick him up midway here through Sector 2. Coming out of the second DRS straight. Looked like a pretty good exit there. We'll see if he improves his time at all here. Can the Ferrari get out of the bottom? And he actually lost time there. We thought it was better, but we don't know how he did in Q3 in the Sector 3 here last time. We cannot see a sector time previously. Apparently P17 for Chief Chris. He needs to find a hole over a second here to get out of the bottom and into Q2. Looking very unlikely here for the Ferrari driver, the red car driver. As he drifts wide there, trying to put everything he has. That's not invalidated. It's still valid with 2 turns to go. No, he runs deep. He misses the braking zone. Oh, that's very unfortunate, Chief Chris. King Caesar on an outlap. He's not going to get around in time. And Chief Chris out of fuel, actually. So Chief Chris ran out of fuel on that lap. Oh, goodness gracious. So that means Draco is going to make it in by the skin of his teeth. The AlphaTauri. Not needing to set this lap time, but we'll sit on board with him and see if he is able to improve. Prince in the pits right now, but it doesn't matter here. King Caesar not going to get his lap in here. If he does, it will be illegal. Penalties will be applied. But the game should not allow him to start the lap. Qualifying session has completed. RV Draco moves up 1 spot, but that's all he really would have needed there with Prince in the pits and only 1 driver on track. And I don't know if this is a legal lap. In our screen, it's showing he started it 30 seconds after the session had ended. So it appears our timing on our screens is messed up. We just discussed with the FIA stewards, and the timing is messed up. He did start this lap with 3 or 4 seconds left on the clock.
5 seconds left. I was on board with him.
But can he nail this final sector and get a lap fast enough to get him out of the bottom and ahead of Prince? Needs to find a 1.5 seconds about here, and it's not going to be fast enough, I don't believe. Coming through the final turn, what's it going to be? It's nowhere near close enough. Unfortunate for King Caesar in the Red Bull. 3 flying laps, but unable to beat his first as the track was improving. Just not able to find that ideal line, and he's going to be starting in P16. Chief Chris will be starting P17 in the Ferrari. A very, very odd performance there from Chief Chris. Usually easily making it into Q2 at least. But the Ferrari really struggling here today. The slowest time of all the drivers. And then Knowing Light and Mooks with their quali mans are going to be starting 18th and 19th. So that means Prince makes it in by the skin of his teeth. And the fastest lap, a 1:33.5 from Granny Boy there. Walker with a very good performance there. Let's see if he can keep that dominance up and maybe continue it. Maybe steal a pole away from Granny Boy here if he can find the rhythm at the right time. And here we are now. Oh, Walker will not improve on his time as he immediately retires from the session. We only have 14 drivers making it through as well. I believe Catfish, because he joined late, it will not let him set a lap time here. So he'll be starting P15, but will have free choice of tire. And with Walker retiring, that means only 3 drivers will be eliminated here. So definitely can potentially get out on the medium tire. We'll see what all the drivers currently are trying to go out on. Hash, Draco, Cobalt, Sohan, Granny, Revis, all the drivers on the medium. The only driver, Pocket Dog and Owen Wilson, the only two drivers out on the soft tire right now. We see Prince coming out on the soft tire. So a lot of the slower paced drivers are going to be trying to get through into Q3 here on these soft tires, trying to take advantage of the pace that they have, about 0.7 of a second faster per lap on new softs than the new medium tires. So if they can take advantage of that, might be able to squeeze their way into Q3. Only 3 people will be eliminated. Walker retiring, Catfish not making it in. We'll hop on board with the driver farthest up the grid, which is, I believe, Pocket Dog. Invalidated right now, but not invalidated for his first flying lap. You want to get life into the tires here, but you don't want to take all that life out of them. We said how little the softs actually will give you of performance. See him cutting the corners, trying to build a gap to get some safe space here to start his first flying lap. Coming around the final turn to start his flying lap right here. Pocket Dog running down the front straight, one of the better looking front straights on the circuit, and he's already invalidated in turn 1, so we'll hop back on the board with the only Ferrari remaining, Sohan Matthew, that beautiful 47 car. He's been absolutely brilliant this season. Currently P4 in the driver's standings, trying to chase down Revis Island here. They have an absolute battle on their hands. He needs Revis to do pretty poorly today, though, if he wants to catch him. Currently a 26-point gap between the two, with potentially 2 races remaining, including this one. If Mexico is rescheduled, which we believe it will be next weekend. We see Sohan followed closely behind Granny Boy, the next driver up the road. We see a Mercedes ahead of the Ferrari, getting well out of the way. Very good there from Knight. But Sohan is the first time we will see on these medium tires. Will be the most telling time that we see on the board. Granny, we obviously know, will probably destroy it, assuming he hasn't invalidated. Still on a valid lap there for the Red Bull driver. We come into Sector 3 here with Sohan and the Red Bull. 4.5 Gs, you hook this double right-hander up, slowing down, almost turning. You have to find that perfect line to be able to nail the braking there to prevent your car from locking up. Because if you try, as you're trying to turn and brake at the same time, very hard to find the ideal line. Coming through the final 2 turns, he goes wide and it's invalidated. Oh, it was looking like a pretty good lap there from Sohan. He comes across the line, it's a 135, but invalidated the lap on the final couple of turns there. Granny will be the first to set a time. Let's see what it is. A 133.9 from Granny Boy. Serial Killer with a 134.8. Or no, Cobalt with a 134.8. Prince 135.9 on the soft tires. We watched Serial Killer here on his debut. On the soft tires, it's a 134.5. So he's able to get ahead of Cobalt. But that's a pretty good time from Cobalt there on those medium tires as well. Gonna want to manage the life here. We see a lot of traffic here in Sector 1 right now. Few drivers on flying lap attempts right now, though. Let's see if we can hop on board. Owen Wilson is on an out lap, so the farthest driver up the field right now, setting a flying lap attempt, is Knight Catsy. A 16-second first sector, I think that said. That would be unbelievable. But we watch Knight coming down this alternate pit lane. Currently without a time on the board on these soft tires. Mercedes has definitely not moved forward the way they would have wanted to this season. They seem to have fallen off the pace as the season's gone along. Hopefully can cap the season off here on a high note. Knight, the driver in 11th, the driver that needs to make points up here to try to earn a seat in next year's season. Owen Wilson is going to be the driver in 10th with 48 points. Knight in 11th with 42 points. And ninth place is Josh Plays with 58 points, who is not here. So a very good opportunity for both these drivers to potentially maybe even jump in, as we see Knight finding that pace with a 1:34.5 on the soft tires. He's probably going to want to try to save some life here and slow down just a little bit. As we hop back on board, Owen Wilson on the medium tires right now. We'll see what his fastest lap time can be right here. Yellow flags ahead. Looks like two cars going slowly. Don't know if they're out of fuel, but hopefully get well out of the way here through this blind right-hander that Owen Wilson's about to have. Both of them going very far off the circuit. Definitely scared Owen a little bit, seeing those drivers come in. May have affected him just a little bit. The driver stayed well enough off. Definitely an odd sight there as he comes into the penultimate corner. Down to the line. It looks like a pretty good time right now. Can he finish the lap off, nailing the last turn? What's it going to be? You want to stay left here to save the time at P4, a 1:34.6 from Owen Wilson on the medium tires. So he goes just a bit faster than Cobalt was on those mediums. So a very good time there from Owen Wilson. We hop back to Hash now on the medium tires. So both the Alfa Romeos trying to make it through on these medium tires. They are the ideal tires to be on here. For at the start of the race, gives you a lot more options as the race goes on. And that's invalid. He cut that right-hander just a touch too far. And we see Revis Island, the next driver, without a time on the board, currently P13 on the medium tires, going out very late on these medium tires to set a lap. Waiting for some of the traffic to probably clear here. Opening the DRS here as he comes down this very long flat out section, 1,200 meters flat out right here. Before you find the hard braking into the tight left-hander, but not really enough room for cars to go too wide. You see him knowing that exactly where the stewards were mentioning that you could and could not cut. And he's able to absolutely nail that right-hander, hook the curb just around. It's showing purple, Sector 1. Don't know if it's true. But Rivas definitely showing some pace here today. Looks like a very good start to Sector 3 as well for the McLaren driver on these medium tires. Double right-hander, try to spot that braking zone right as you get around that final right. And then very slow, methodical 90-degree turns. Just making sure if your tires weren't overheating already, they're just trying to challenge you just that little bit more here at the end of your lap. And Rivas going to come across the line. Where's it going to be? It's a 1:34.6. So he misses out on Owen Wilson's time by 16 milliseconds. That could cost him dearly, especially as drivers start coming out on the soft tires towards the end of the lap. We'll hop back on board with Hash now on another flying lap. Can he keep it in valid here? He does that time. So let's see if he can finish the lap in style now as well. The Alfa Romeo driver through the arcing right-hander around the bay. You can see the beautiful hotel, the Yas Marina Abu Dhabi Hotel. It's a very beautiful sight. You can see the LED lights in it changing colors throughout the night. Just a beautiful, beautiful looking circuit. May not get the credit it deserves for how beautiful it is, but hopefully it can give us some racing here today. It's Hash on the second lap actually, yep, on those medium tires, 2 back-to-back hot laps after invalidating the first. He's only able to go P7, so he may need to go out for another lap. Only 5 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in Q2. The top 10 will advance. We will have the bottom 3 who will not be making it through. On board with Ricky Starr in the Mercedes, currently P8. Fastest time on the soft tires. Currently Draco on the medium tires. The next driver in trouble, Guapo, I believe, though, is on the medium tires now after setting his first time on softs. So very odd strategy there from AG Guapo in the Hash. I don't know who that was. I didn't catch it there, but I believe Prince. No, it couldn't have been Prince. One of the drivers jumping up is Soha Matthew, without a time on the board actually, going up to P3. Only 7 milliseconds behind Knight Katsy in second. So we watch Ricky Start coming to the line here. Where's he going to go? He jumps Knight Katsy. It's P2 as the track gets better and better with every lap of rubber these drivers are putting down. Some of these drivers may be in trouble. We'll hop back to AG Guapo now. It's down on his time, so hopefully going into the pits here, he's going to have to strap on the soft tires if he wants to get through into Q3 here. He's going to have to end his lap. Give it up, because he's currently down on his time anyway, not really improving. Currently about 3/10 off the time he would need to make it through into Q3. Haas currently 1 point behind Renault in the constructor standings, and Guapo's going to stay out and try to finish the lap. Oh my goodness, he nailed the final sector, so he must have really messed up last time in that final sector. But it's only P9. We see Draco and Pocket Dog currently. Pocket Dog out on the mediums, and Draco out on the softs for their final lap attempts here. Don't know why you'd be going out on the mediums here at the end, but they may know something we don't know. Sohan we know finished. Ricky Star finished, so we wait for some of the drivers here that will be starting their flying laps. The first of which will be RV Draco, currently P12, needing to get ahead of Prince in the Renault to make it through into Q3. Currently Hash in P10 on those medium tires in the pits right now. The driver on the bubble. Oh, and what was that from Draco? He didn't go at the start. That's going to... I don't know what that was, folks. If he had some sort of engine trouble, or the gearbox maybe starting to give out a bit. But he came around that final curve. It seemed like the throttle just didn't give him that power he wanted. Already 3/10 down on his medium tire time. Does that pace? He's going to have to make it up here. P5 in Brazil. Can he show that pace here today at Abu Dhabi and end the season on an absolute high with back-to-back top fives, maybe? Look, the DRS wide open. Very long straight. Makes the cars look so slow sometimes with how long that straight is. They're covering it at about 200 miles per hour once they open up the back of that rear wing. Check his sector time here. He should be improving, as his previous lap was on the medium tires, but it's only a 10th up after that engine issue at the start of his lap. Sohan retiring from the session, happy with the time he has on the board. See a lot of drivers on those medium tires staying in the pits, though. It will be Hash and Guapo, the drivers that will be on the bubble, with only 1 minute left in Q2 to start a lap. We watch Draco coming around to finish his flying lap. Will it be fast enough to get him ahead of Prince and ahead of Hash? May beat Prince, but I don't think he's beating Hash. And there it is, P11 for Draco. So he's got a chance to do another flying lap here, potentially. If he has saved up the ERS and has the fuel, he can go for another flying lap here. Will be 2-lap-old soft tires, though, if he goes for a run here. We see Prince on his flying lap. Pocket Dog as well. See him weaving a little bit, trying to get life into the tires, and he misses the pits there. I think he was trying to go into the pits and finish his lap, but he missed the pits, so he's going to go around for another lap here. And we watch Prince on his flying lap, currently P12, trying to get out of the bottom. Hash is looking pretty good so far. This is the only driver that can still knock him out. Draco on his second lap as well potentially could knock him out too. We'll hop back on board with Draco after we see the end of Prince's lap here. On these soft tires coming around the final turn, I don't think it's going to be fast enough. It's going to be close. Where it's going to be, it's P11. 3/10 off. Hash makes it through on the medium tires there. We watch Draco now coming into Sector 3. Can't tell. I believe he's still on a flying lap. It is still valid right now. around the final couple of turns here. Turns 18, 19 under the hotel before you go into turns 20 and 21, lining you up for that miniature little run to the start-finish line. I don't think it's going to be fast enough here, though, for Draco. Oh, it is! Oh, he nicked it at the death of it, 300th of a second. He knocks Hash out. Wow, what a lap by Draco. But those tires are going to be a concern to start the race, I will have to say. He ran 2 flying laps on the medium tires, on those soft tires there. So Draco stealing the spot away from Hash at the death of it by 3.5 hundredths of a second. Guapo able to make it in on those medium tires, despite not really going very fast there towards the end. So we see the best laps. Granny on the mediums. Owen Wilson then will be on the mediums. 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, all going to be starting on the mediums. Granny, the driver on the front right now on the mediums as well. And then Ricky, Knight, Sohan, and Serial Killer, all the drivers on the soft tires. As we wait for Revis Island to retire from the session, we will be advancing once he retires. And there it is, Revis Island retiring from the session. So here we are. We have now got our top 10. We will be heading into the top 10 Q3 shootout with 12 minutes on the clock. Hash getting nicked right at the death of it there. On those medium tires, didn't set a soft time, so Draco was able to use that pace advantage in the soft tires to knock Hash out into P11. It will have free choice of tire and can start on a brand new set of tires as well. So might not be as bad, maybe what Hash wanted as well. Might be the ideal starting spot here today. Prince going to be starting P12. Pocket Dog in P13, and Walker, after retiring at the start of the session, starting in P14, just ahead of Catfish in 15th, who unable to make it in due to a delayed qualifying entry. So he will be starting in P15.
What's going on?
And we have got the issue resolved. We are now here into Q3. Every driver getting a new set of soft compound tires. The C5 tire, the fastest tire, the softest tire Pirelli has in their arsenal. So we see some pretty quick times here today. 2 Mercedes make it through, actually 1 Racing Point making it through, sorry about that. Pretty mixed grid. The only team to not have a car in the top 10 shootout, the Haas, not the Haas team, the Renault team, sorry about that. The only team to not have a car in here today, as they only had 1 car for qualifying to begin with. We see a lot of drivers coming out 2 set flying laps here. Revis actually out early this time. potentially can set 3 laps here if you save the tires. You can definitely just go into the pits, but we'll see a lot of the drivers coming out on the pits here. Guapo coming out of the pits. Knight still sitting in the pits, along with Serial Killer. Granny just coming out of the pits now. So Serial Killer and Knight, the Williams and one of the Mercedes, the only 2 cars to not come out of the pits yet. Mercedes have been pretty good in qualifying all year. A lot of the times, both of them making it through into the Q3 shootout, but haven't been able to capitalize on those results in the race. Vapor Cobalt gonna try to get a win here on the season. In that Racing Point, he's gonna want to try to get on the top step of the podium. Only has done it once all season. We see Revis Island, though, the driver leading the field out. The number 27, an ode to Nico Hulkenberg. Every driver now out on outlaps. Serial Killer and Knight going to be potential traffic Revis Island may have to deal with here. Pretty good spacing throughout the field, though, between all of the drivers right now. It's a 16.933, right around Granny's medium time in Q2. So
Hi, Austin.
Hopefully he can improve just a little bit here. Coming down here into the end of Sector 2, Revis Island. It's another purple, obviously the only person to set a lap so far, but it's a 56.8. Definitely a little bit of a struggle there from Revis. Not near the top times, but hopefully can maybe sneak his way onto the second row of the grid here. Can maybe help secure that P3 in the driver's standings between Revis Island and Sohan. And one of the main battles we are looking at. Knight Katsi as well. A 34.3 from Revis Island. We'll watch Vapor Cobalt with a 33.9. Hopping back to Owen Wilson coming around the final curve. His time way down. I don't believe he's on a hot lap. You can see his lap is already invalidated. Ricky Star, though, coming around the final corner. What's his time going to be? 34.35, so 500th behind Revis. We'll hop down to Sohan, as we said, the competition. Oh, and Sohan is invalidated, so he's going to go in the pits. Maybe he has 2 more sets of softs here. Maybe come out and set another lap. We'll hop up to RV Draco, snuck in at the absolute death of Q2. What can he do here? It's P4, the slowest time on the board so far, but he has the time on the board. A few other drivers retiring. Missed Guapo there, but Guapo's going to go to P2 on 134.28, beating out Revis. Oh, Granny has invalidated as well, so he's into the pits. So Guapo in his second race struggled at Brazil, a few penalties and just pit lane issues, but currently P2, so a very good time from him. We'll hop back. Knight Katsi going to be the next driver coming across the line. Knight Katsi and Serial Killer, the last 2 drivers that came out of the pits. Owen Wilson might be on a hot lap, and Knight has invalidated his lap, so we'll hop on board. Serial Killer coming around the final couple of turns now. You want to stay left here. Don't drift down in the middle. Keep it a straight line. Very good from Serial Killer, but it's only P5 with a 134.5. Serial Killer probably messing up a little bit there. We saw him have some decent pace earlier. We'll hop back to Owen, going for his second flying lap on this set of tires. Looks like a pretty good time so far from Owen Wilson in the Alfa Romeo. What's it going to be at P1? Holy cow! On a second lap on those tires, it's a 133.9, beating out Vapor Cobalt by 18 milliseconds for pole at the moment. We'll hop back to Drago, who is invalidated. Knight Katsi is on another flying lap on the same set of tires as well. Still valid through that turn, absolutely nails it. obviously the Mercedes. Let's see the time here at the end. A little bit slower than what we saw from Rivas Island and Ricky Star at that point. But he invalidates anyway, so it does not matter. Taking out the bollard as well. So we'll hop. Sohan will be probably the next driver to set a lap. 5 minutes and 30 seconds, less than half of Q3 remaining. Currently, Knight Katsi, Sohan, and Granny Boy, the only drivers yet to set a lap. Watch Sohan here as he sets up to start his flying lap attempt. Putting on a new set of softs, he gives it a little bit of power, a little too much, getting a little bit oversteer there, out of the corner. Gonna mess up the start of the lap a little bit, losing a few hundredths of a second, and every second counts while you are trying to do a hot lap here in Q3. Sohan pretty well through that first sector, showing us purple, but we all know we can never believe that. Draco is out. I think he might be on a hot lap, and he is, but it's a 1:34.9. He does not go faster. Granny about to start his second attempt at a flying lap. We'll see if he can keep his lap valid. Sohan, oh, the rear end sliding out from behind him right there. Just keeping a hold of the car. Recently switching traction control off, so definitely starting to get a feel for it with Sohan here. 57.3, so he's 2/10 behind what we just saw Knight at. A little bit down on time, but he needs to get a time on the board here. This might be his final attempt. I don't know if he's going to be able to get to the pits and come back out. If he has a new set of softs, he may decide to pit in here if he doesn't think this lap is good enough. We'll stay on board until he decides what he's doing here. Ferrari driver needs to start as high as he can. Try to beat out Rivas. He needs a DNF or a very poor performance from Rivas today. Sohan coming around the final corner. It's only P6, missing out on Ricky Star by 3 milliseconds. Look at how close we are. P4, P5, P6, P3 actually as well. All separated by less than 1/10 of a second. So we hop back on board with Granny. The AlphaTauri getting reasonably enough out of the way, we believe. We hopped on board a little bit late, but it still appears Granny on a hot lap right now. So we see him coming through the hotel section, drifts a little bit wide. It doesn't invalidate though. He just stayed valid there, I believe. Comes through the final couple of turns here now. Watch him coming to the line, just keep it tight. And that should be a pretty quick lap there from Granny. It is. It's a 1:32.7. Oh my goodness. This man is on another level right now. 1.2 seconds faster than anybody else. Unreal. We'll hop back on board. Rivas Island goes 1:33.6 to go up to P2. So he's doing everything right now to try to secure that P3. He can secure it himself with a win today, or a Sohan DNF would be enough for Rivas as well. A lot of situations in between there depending on where they both finish. Ricky Star up to P4 with a 1:33.9. Sohan finishing his lap. Here's the only driver currently on a hot lap is Knight Katsi. Watch him coming through sector 2. Can he stop the car in time? That looks a lot better. When you saw King Caesar, when we were watching King Caesar come through that sector earlier, you see how deep he's going. Knight knowing slow in, fast out there. It's one of the keys to Formula One. So then you build up, carry that speed all the way down the entire next part of the track here, versus gaining a couple of hundredths, even milliseconds under braking. It's better to save that time all the way the rest in the next lap. We watch coming into this final sector, quite a few 5 straight 90-degree turns, to finish off the lap here and just to make sure you have saved some life in your tires. What's this time going to be from Knight? It doesn't look like it's going to be very good, but it's definitely going to be a time. It's only P9 for Knight. 134.6, so he's going to be pretty disappointed with himself there. He might have a chance at another flying lap here. Owen Wilson's going to be the next driver on a flying lap attempt. He's going to try to beat Rivas. The track has improved. Has he improved? No. Boom. There it is, and it's not going to be quick enough. 400th behind. We'll hop back to AG Guapo, who has invalidated his time. Is he going to have enough time to start another lap here? I don't believe so. Our timing says no. Our timing has been off here today, though, so we believe this might be valid. Vapor Cobalt, though, is unable to improve. Unfortunate there from Cobalt. He's starting in P5. Owen Wilson is on a flying lap. We'll hop back to Knight Katze, though, who is currently 4/10 up on his fastest lap. Does he have enough ERS left in the system? It appears he does right now. How high up can he jump? If he can gain, I don't know, another 2/10 here, he potentially could jump Ricky Star and Cobalt. Right now looking like he might go to P6 ahead of AG Guapo. But AG Guapo's still on a lap. So Knight Katze coming around the final turn here. See if he can nail this and where he can get to. Gives it a little bit oversteer, slips it a little bit, but it's going to still be good enough to get ahead of AG Guapo into P6. We'll hop back to Serial Killer, currently almost 2/10 up on his time. Where can he go to? It's P6. He just jumps ahead of Knight Katze as well. Owen not on a flying lap, so the final driver on circuit, AG Guapo, currently 1.5 tenths up on his fastest lap. It would be good enough to put him ahead of Serial Killer. Can he go fast enough through this final sector, make up the time to get ahead of Vapor Cobalt and Ricky Star, separated by only 8 milliseconds? Let's see what Guapo can do through the final turn. He has to absolutely nail it here to have a chance. He drifts a little bit right. Will it be enough? I don't think it was. I think it was P6 there for AG Guapo. So he gets back the position he had before he started the lap. Two drivers jumping him, he gets it right back. What a quality there, though, from Granny. A 132.7. Rivas is able to cut it under the second gap. But definitely an unbelievable performance there from Granny. P1 with Rivas Island sharing the front row in that McLaren. Owen Wilson just missing out on Rivas in the Alfa Romeo. Has been stepping up his game massively over the last few weeks of the season. Ricky Star, P4 for Mercedes, getting back on form to where he started the year as well. Cobalt will be sharing the grid with AG Guapo in his second race attempt. Serial Killer in P7. And then we'll have to get the rest of the grid because I don't remember it off the top of my head when we start the race here. Good luck to all the racers here today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome into Savior 6 Racing League, round 22 at Abu Dhabi, the season finale, pending the Mexico postponement we had last Sunday. But currently, Granny Boy was able to qualify on pole position here for this race. already locked up the championship, won the Constructors title last weekend at Brazil. Granny giving it quite a bit of power, doing maybe a little bit of celebrating there on those medium tires, and Rivas has overtaken him in a show of dominance, I guess, or force of some sort. But Granny on pole, Rivas Island splitting the front row with him. See the drivers all trying to get their tires nice and warm. The top 3 drivers all starting on the medium tires. Owen Wilson in P3. Ricky Star starting from P4 in the Mercedes. Vapor Cobalt in the Racing Point, splitting the spot with AG Guapo in the Haas. Serial Killer starting in P7 in the Williams. Night Katzi P8 for Mercedes. Only team to both have 2 cars in the top 10. Sohan with a very, very odd qualifying session. Wasn't able to find the time, find the pace, find the line. He's going to be starting P9 for Ferrari, so maybe just not Ferrari's track here today. Draco snuck into Q3, but wasn't to improve upon P10. Unable to go faster than anybody else in Q3. Hash starting on the medium tires in P11. Pocket Dog starting Sauce in P12. Walker retiring at the start of Q2. It's going to be starting P13. Prince will be P14, the lead Renault. P15 for King Caesar in the Red Bull. Chief Chris, P16. P17 for Knowing Light in the Racing Point. Moops will be in the McLaren starting in 18th after their quali bans. And Catfish and Majestic showing up late. Catfish did make it into Q2, but I guess the system wouldn't let him in due to showing up late. Catfish in P19. And Majestic will be starting from P20 to finalize our grid. You see a little bit downhill for the cars in the back of the grid here. Will help them with their start sequence. But it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And go! We see everybody getting away pretty clean. Ricky Star getting a very good run. We'll look back in the field a little bit. Everybody making it through turn 1 clean, 4 wide. Running a little bit wide there, one of the AlphaTauris, but it looks like everybody making it through relatively cleanly off the start. Rivas Island able to hold P2. Owen Wilson, Cobalt in P4. Ricky Star unable to capitalize on the very good start. He got stuck behind, had to brake a little bit early. And Serial Killer is going to be P6. Hash up to P7 already. What a start by Hash in the Alfa Romeo. An absolutely beautiful start there for him. Up 4 positions at the start. Guapo is down 4 though. Not sure what happened there, if he got bogged down. We see a little bit of lagging there from one of the Haas drivers. Pocket Dog, I believe. Go back and we see some damage there off one of the cars. I believe one of the McLarens. Yes, that's Mooks with almost no front wing left on his car. Drivers up front. We see Hash going down the inside, holding the position on Sohan right now. Sohan gonna try to take advantage of those soft tires. But the drivers holding station pretty well throughout the field so far. Just forming a single fly-out line already at the end of lap 1. Everybody finding their spot. No yellow flags. Stewards, the marshals able to get the damage off the track without a safety car. We see the cars winding through here up in the hotel. You can see this beautiful shot down over the circuit. Can you imagine staying there? That would be an absolute dream. You have to look out your window, see these F1 cars flying by. Wouldn't be so good for sleep. But you wouldn't be sleeping if we were here. Don't know if Guapo might have lagged out or left the session. Not sure. He is falling back in the field right now, though. We'll try to get him an invite. Get him back in here. Currently Knowing Light, though. And Walker going to go down the inside. He gets it. The move done on Draco. What a move there by Walker. Into the one of the not really an overtaking spot. Most people going for the overtake through the hairpin there. We'll hop back in the field a little, knowing having to hang back. I see a little bit of lag from Pocket Dog. Don't know if that's on our end or his end as well. Granny Boy already opening up his lead to a 1.6 second gap. Get Guapo another invite. Knowing Light trying to find a spot to go past Pocket Dog here, unable to get it done. Guapo is now back in the session, down to P12, but still a lot of race to go. You're going to have it happen when you lag out. You want it to happen early. Appears most other drivers are still going. Moves back on his own after pitting for a new front wing, so needing a safety car to take advantage. We see Granny Boy, the end of lap 2. Gonna set the fastest lap of the race right here. It's a 1:38.4 from Granny, setting the fast lap 2.7 seconds ahead of Revis Island already, who has the train of Owen Wilson and Vapor Cobalt behind him. The Ricky Star in P5, the first of the soft tire runners. We see Hash going a bit wide back there, and Night Catsy appears to have been able to get past Sohan there. Not sure when that happened. Yellow flag in the background. I believe Chief Chris may have spun. Or no, Cobalt. We didn't see what happened there. He has wing damage, though. Didn't catch the incident. Cobalt is pointing in a straight line again. No safety car there. Catfish pitting for a new front wing as well. So wondering what happened there. If that was Cobalt trying to go back up the inside like Owen did to Cobalt at Brazil. He did receive a 5-second penalty and 3.3 penalty points on his license for the dive bomb he had on Cobalt, taking him out. Cobalt was still able to hold on and get a podium, but it did cost him P2 in the race. We watch a few drivers towards the back here. Night Catsy's trying to take advantage of these softs. He was able to get past. And we'll hop up to Serial Killer as well, who's now trying to push Ricky Star. Quite a few battles here. Ricky Star falling off the pace. Serial Killer's going to try to take advantage of it here. Walker is actually going up the inside of Sohan. Sohan getting a 3-second time penalty. You see a few, almost like NASCAR-esh, little mini 2-car path. Knight and Walker and Sohan. Walker getting past Sohan, though. He is now starting to catch up to the back of Night Catsy. The soft tires probably already going off just a little bit. As we see Guapo closing in on the back of Draco on those medium tires too. So the medium tires already starting to find the life equivalent to the softs potentially here. You see Hash leading this group around right now. They will have DRS for this lap, so let's see if that helps Serial Killer get past here. Serial Killer very low on the ERS though, unfortunately. It's about to run out here. DRS, will it be enough? He's going to try to go down the inside. Going to hold it around. It's going to become the outside here. This is an absolutely god-awful view. He's able to get ahead right now, but that's going to... There's a second DRS detection point for that next straight, and that's going to give Ricky Star the DRS. Serial Killer's going to try to tuck him behind, may try to go up the inside. Unable to get it done. Night Catsy on the back of Walker, unable to get a move done. Guapo gets past Draco there with the use of the DRS. See, Knowing Light still stuck behind Pocket Dog at the moment. With that lag from Pocket Dog, might make it very hard for him to get past. You see the flashing light on Night Catsy, so under 10%, and Sohan knows that. Sohan with almost 75% of his ERS system. So should make a move on Knight very easy if he can get one lined up, get Knight out of that DRS of Walker. See, Granny already opening up a 5-second gap to the cars behind. Owen Wilson, though, currently hanging on to Revis right now. He's going to try to do that. Save the ERS and maybe be able to just drag along and then attack Revis. Maybe go for an undercut attempt. Pit a lap earlier than Revis and get the move done. Both drivers looking very even so far, though. We see Serial Killer, P5, Hash in P6. Walker in P7 right now. Been held up a little, had a very good charge to start the race. Currently been caught up now. Some of the drivers ahead, but he gets a pretty good exit there. Hash will still have DRS ahead of him. Not using any overtake. You can see all the cars coming down here. Will anybody be going for a move? Nope, nobody's going to risk it here. A lot of racing yet to go. Oh, God. Pocket Dog's going up the inside. Draco trying to fight it back. Oh, and that, I don't know what is going on there. This is going to let Knowing Light potentially get past Pocket Dog here. And he's able to get past, uses all the Urs. Oh, and Prince just avoids hitting the back of Pocket Dog. Very early braking there from the Haas. Prince just got behind him, wasn't sure where he was going to be braking, and it looks like Draco's coming back up the inside, side by side. Coming through turns 15, 16, into 17. Where's it going to be? Oh, and he gets past Pocket Dog. Can Draco get past as well? Coming around, trying to get up the inside. It's not going to happen. Prince is able to get past Pocket Dog way quicker than Knowing Light, though. Looks like Pocket Dog may have had a little bit of an issue through that double right-hander. May have let off the throttle a bit. But it's going to be Prince in P12. Knowing Light now up to P11. Up 6 spots from the start of the race. Guapo out on his own. 2.8 behind Sohan right now. 3-second time penalty for Owen Wilson. Corner cutting. So trying to keep up with Reva's eye on the head. As you see all the drivers starting to catch up more and more to Ricky Star here. All the drivers, though, running out of Urs. No Urs left for anybody here. Surprising seeing nobody trying to save it. We see Serial Killer going up the inside of the Mercedes, and he's going to get the move done. Ricky Star trying to fight it back, but unable to. He's going to have DRS coming back, but Hash is all over the rear bumper of Ricky Star, and he has Urs left. He's going to try to go to the outside here. Ricky Star moves to the inside. Walker's up the inside as well. Oh, and they try to squeeze down at just about enough room. And it's Hash and Serial Killer side by side, and Hash is going to get the move done, gaining 2 spots on that backstretch. Serial Killer and Ricky Star now side by side. Serial Killer is struggling right now, getting caught out, not having the DRS there. Really hurt him, and Walker is still down in P7 watching these guys battle ahead. He wants to get past them. He knows he has the pace in his car, but he's stuck behind the traffic right now. As these cars battling side by side, there's nowhere for Walker to go. Ricky Star, it looks like he's coming into the pits here, actually. Yep. And he'll be the first pit stop of the race, the first scheduled pit stop of the race. The Mercedes driver, will see where he comes back out. Currently P9. We saw him right in that big gaggle of cars. He got overtaken finally, and he's going to decide to pit rather than being held up by the traffic ahead. We see Owen Wilson. It said he's 3/10 behind Rivas there, but not anymore. Rivas using that little bit of Urs, moving way to the inside. Should have plenty of gap to hold the lead there. We see King Caesar, Walker actually pitting. So Walker pit medium to medium there, so he is definitely going to need to stop again. Ricky Star coming out in P13. And Ricky Star pitting onto the medium tires as well. So we'll see some of the soft tire runners here. Who's going to be pitting? Serial Killer, Knight, and Sohan on those 6-lap old soft tires right now. Majestic in 12th position, up from last place, so very good move for him on those medium tires. Cobalt down in P19, having to pit for a new front wing on those hard tires. He will be a driver to watch as we get towards the end of the race. Currently, no safety cars, no VSCs, no yellows whatsoever on the circuit. Very good race overall here today. Is Majestic. Not sure what happened there. Saw the red arrows. Serial Killer still P5 behind Hash. These soft tires definitely losing a little bit of life. We'll see if Serial's coming to the pits, and it looks like he is. So we'll see if the undercut works from Ricky Star here. Knight staying out, though, as well. So Knight going for the overcut on Serial, while Ricky Star is going for the undercut. Shows you what the team game can do here. Guapo up in the 6th position on those medium tires. Looking like a one-stop for these medium tire runners. Probably medium to hard tires is what we're looking at here for the drivers. Could go medium to soft as well, so lots of options. Currently, pretty big gaps throughout the field. Granny has opened his lead up to 7.5 seconds. Owen Wilson still hanging on the back of Rivas. You can see the DRS open, so within a second at the detection point. And it's a safety car. It appears Walker has crashed out. Not sure where that happened, but all these drivers that just pit. That's going to be unfortunate for these guys. Oh, goodness. So that could change the race here. They can pit onto the hard tires. They go about 21 laps, 20 laps remaining in the race, so should be able to get to the end on the hard tires. So I'd imagine we see all of the front runners pitting here onto the hard tires. Extremely unfortunate for Ricky Star, Serial Killer, Sohan, all those drivers that pitted one lap earlier. There's Granny Boy into the pits. We'll make sure they all put on the right tires here. Owen right behind Revis going in. Hash, will they double stack the Alfa Romeos? It looks like they will. Hash coming in behind Owen Wilson. Got to be careful on the exit here. It's very tight going under that bridge. So hopefully nobody crashing, breaking their wing. See all the drivers. P7 down coming on in. Prince coming in. Pocket Dog coming in. Majestic coming in. Ricky Star going to be the first driver staying out. And how much ground is he going to lose here? He might not lose that much. It looks like he might actually be able to overtake Night Katzy. Well, that worked out beautifully for the Mercedes drivers there. Coming out side by side, both of them jumping Hash and Serial Killer. I don't think they could have planned that any better. I don't know how that happened, but Ricky Star was able to get ahead. Serial Killer and Guapo fall behind. So they're all right back in that pack. But Serial Killer on the medium tires. Gonna have to probably pit again. Medium tires showing is only going about 17 laps, so they can try to push these mediums to the end. We're going to be on the absolute limit. We may see a little bit of Silverstone, seeing the tires popping on the last couple of laps, trying to bring the car home. Fortunately, tire popping will not, the tires will not delaminate, so you will not get extra body damage. The only things that can be damaged on these cars in this simulation game are the front wings and your tires. But the tires can only lose pressure. Cannot delaminate or come off your car. So probably a good thing though, with how much aggression and damage there already is. Chief Chris bringing around the field right now. P19 Walker, we're not sure what happened there. We saw his car stopped on the front straight and then driving away. So not sure if he retired on track or what happened there. But it looks like Chief Chris in P19 is going to try to bring this back. Vapor Cobalt pits on the medium tires as well. So he is going to try to push these to the end. You'd imagine he was on the hards. Catfish down in P17 on the hards. King Caesar is going to try to go soft to soft. Could be the ideal strategy potentially if you can make the overtakes happen. If you can't make the overtakes happen, soft to soft will not work here. But we see Granny and Revis, both of them actually going on to the soft tires. So pretty bold strategy from the McLaren and the Red Bull driver. The McLaren team probably trying to go an opposite strategy to Granny Boy potentially. But Granny Boy's not having any of it, then matches the strategy. So Owen Wilson is the lead car on the opposite strategy, trying to take mediums to the end. Hash, the first car on the hards, trying to get them to the end. So some pretty differing strategies here. Serial Killer on his debut down in P7. AG Guapo, second race with Savior 6 Racing League in P8. Sohan, still in P9 where he started, but definitely going to want to try to make some moves happen here if he wants a chance at P3 in the driver's standings. Going to be very hard to do that with Revis in P2. Going to need some sort of error from Revis. Knowing Light has gotten back up to P10 on the soft tires. Prince on the softs in P11. Mooks not pitting on these medium tires, 7 laps old in P12. Majestic P13. See Mooks overtaking Prince. Not sure what happened there, but Mooks has overtaken Prince under the safety car. Majestic P13 on new soft tires. Draco P14 after pitting just a little bit early on those 2-lap old mediums. We see from race control, safety car is in this lap. Catfish right behind his teammate on those new hard, going to the end in P15. Cobalt P16. Pocket Dog P17. King Caesar in P18. Chief Chris rounding out the grid in P19, 7 seconds behind the field, trying to catch back up right now. But Granny Boy is now the safety car. They got a long way to go, though. Very long Sector 3. He's going to lead the field around. He can go at any point as long as the safety car is off the circuit. Rivas Island, you need to make sure you maintain that 10-car gap to the car ahead, but don't need to be right on their bumper. We watch Granny Boy. When's he gonna go? He's still waiting, still waiting. A very long wait from the Red Bull, and there he goes. In the middle of the straightaway. Not a usual spot. You see a lot of guys trying to do that start in a corner. Try to catch some of the drivers behind off gear. As we see, oh, the Sohan and AG Guapo side by side already. And Guapo has already lost his spot on those hard tires. Very hard to get them warmed up. We see Knowing Light going wide. Don't know if he was run wide or what happened there, but Knowing Light's going to drop back to P10. Mook's up to P9 right now. And the two Renaults very, very close. Majestic behind his teammate. He's going to try to go up the inside of him. Can he avoid contact? What a move by Majestic. Under braking, he gets the move done on Prince. Very clean. Holy cow, what a move. Serial killer using all of his overtake, trying to get Hash here. He's in the slipstream on the softer compounded tires. Can he get it done under braking? Just about. Hash, very smart there, gives him the position. He knows his tires will last. Might try to just hang on and catch him at the end. Rivas Island. We didn't see Granny. What happened to Granny? Granny spinning off the start. Rivas Island is currently the leader of this race. Owen Wilson's P2, Ricky Starr in P3, and Knight in P4. Oh my goodness, we could have a new race winner here today. Only 4 winners on the entire season. And the entire top 10 has yet to win a race this year. So Granny's boy is going to need an unbelievable performance here if he wants to come back and win this. He has pit onto the medium tires, so he's probably going to the end on them. Yellow flag, safety car is out. Pocket Dog has spun in Sector 3 right by the hotel. Pocket Dog is out of the race. That's our second DNF. You should see it there in King Caesar. He's up against the wall. Looks like he might have broken a rear tire, gave it a little bit too much power on the curbs. A very hard track, especially in that final sector. Your tires are on fire there. And this is not going to work well for Rivas Island on the soft tires. He needed green flag running to build that gap. This is going to help the medium tires. I believe all the medium tires should be able to make it to the end of the Grand Prix now. The only exception, potentially Ricky Starr, 4-lap-old mediums. That is absolutely unfortunate. Granny Boy, we didn't even see him spin out. I didn't even see him moving down the leaderboard. Oh, goodness. We may see another incredible comeback here from Granny, though, potentially. Something to watch here. Oh, a drive-through penalty for Knight Katzy, speeding under the safety car right now. Only driver to get a penalty. The only other drivers with penalties in the top are second place, Owen Wilson with 3 seconds, and Sohan in 7th with 3 seconds. See Mook still on those 9-lap-old medium tires. We'll see if he can get them to the end of the Grand Prix here. Well, not to the end of the Grand Prix, to a soft tire pit stop potentially. He's got to save as much life as he can in those tires. Hasn't been known as tire management. The driver's just getting up to the safety car. Now, Rivas Island has caught the safety car. See King Caesar still trying to catch the grid. I would imagine we see probably at least one more lap from the safety car. But the field has caught up, but I can't see the safety car just coming out for one lap. Sohan passing AG Guapo, not sure what's going on back there. Looks like just a little bit of a glitch on the leaderboard. See the Mercedes though, P3, P4. They haven't been this way since about round 4. So we'll see if they can capitalize here today. The black Mercedes looking very good on track. And Mook gets a collision warning. Not sure what happened there, but that's going to be unfortunate for Mooks. I believe Knowing Light gets the penalty as well. Both of them with 5-second penalties. Knight going to have to serve the drive-through after the safety car. Then it's going to be racing to the finish, and it looks like, yes, safety car is in. It just came out just to collect everybody here. So you see the marshals not really paying attention, not looking very excited after their favorite racer, Granny Boy, crashes out of the session. So it'll be Revis Island leading the field now. In the McLaren, where will he take off? Will it be the same place as Granny? Will he hold them up longer? Right on board with Owen Wilson behind. We'll see what kind of getaway he can get. See if he takes off the same spot that Granny potentially did here. And he does. The same spot Granny took off. We'll see Revis coming through. Gets through pretty easily there. We see Ricky start. What is going on? Ricky start pits after the safety car comes in. We see everybody, though, making it through that first turn cleanly. Reeves Island leading away. We have a yellow flag, Sector 1. Looks like everybody's still pretty much going in the right direction right now. Hash in P5, Sohan P6. Probably going to be a pretty good battle. Those hard tires versus the mediums. We're getting a 1-second gap on the field behind at the moment. We'll take a look back at Granny Boy, see if how many overtakes he can get done, saving the ERS. We see Catfish using his. Granny Boy going to try to nail the exit here. Potentially get past a lot of these guys. This is probably one of the main overtaking opportunities we'll see here. Granny Boy trying to fight back to the field. Gets an unbelievable exit. Catfish using his ERS. Granny not trying to save him because he knows he has a long way to go. Can't use all of the ERS up now, and he's right behind Prince. Oh, goodness. Believe he still has his front wing. He did have a little bit of contact there. Looks like the wing is fine. The Renault ahead on those softer tires, though. Gonna get out of the way. Doesn't want to cause any sort of incidents here. Very smart racing. Don't want to hold yourself up trying to battle with drivers that you shouldn't be battling with. And Draco is now going to be overtaken by Granny. Granny gets a 3-second time penalty, but he gets the overtake done. No illegal overtake, it doesn't appear. We see Prince and Draco trying to hang on. Oh, Prince just about loses it. Able to maintain the correct direction on the track, though. These soft tires, he will have to pit again. And we see Night Cassie serving the drive-through penalty as we speak. That's going to put the Mercedes in the back of the field. I don't know what the plan was there from the Mercedes drivers, but whatever it was, it did not work out. Revis, 5-lap-old softs. He still has not opened up this DRS, this 1-second gap to Owen Wilson. So this may not work out for Revis here. See Sohan 5/10 behind. Oh, and Granny Boy is already next to Majestic in the Renault. Coming into the braking zone, who's going to be later? Granny on the medium tires still able to brake later than the Renault behind, and now he's got Mooks ahead of him. Let's see if Moose can defend. Granny is already up into the points after just 1.5 laps after the start of the restart of the safety car. Hash with a 3-second time penalty. We'll see Granny still behind Mooks at the moment. See if he can get a good exit here. Potentially get past the McLaren driver. He's all over the rear bumper. You got to really trust the guys ahead of you when you're following that close. going to try to set up that undercut here. Not able to get it there, though. Mook's very wise to the attempt to overtake. DRS now enabled, and Rivas struggling on those softs. Only a 0.5 of a second gap right now. Granny still stuck behind Mooks at the moment. Mooks using a lot of his ERS, though, to try to keep hold up Granny. Could affect the rest of his race, just trying to hold up one driver. But Granny's able to get a very good run there on Mooks. Gonna try to outbreak him down the outside. Mooks up the inside. Look at the running there, side by side, Mooks and Granny. Not a battle you typically see. Both the drivers on the medium tires. Granny will have DRS here, though. Mooks using all of the ERS he has left, but it's not going to be enough. Unfortunate there for Mooks, but we see the battle ahead. 3 wide, Knowing Light gets past Guapo, and the exit is going to allow Cobalt to get past him as well. The Racing Point's working in tandem. Guapo trying to get back up onto Cobalt, though. Can he get there? The hard tires not quite quick enough. Soft tires out front, medium tires second, and third in that three-way battle is the hard tires. But they will come to him towards the end of the race. But Owen Wilson has some pretty good pace on these medium tires right now. Hanging on to Rivas on the soft tires. Rivas' only hope here is another safety car of some sort. He will have to pit again. Don't know what the plan on strategy was there. The safety car really ended any sort of strategy they would have had, but he's not even gaining the gap. If he knew he had the pace in him, you could see going on the soft, but unfortunately he can't even get away from a guy on mediums right now. So it's a bold strategy by Rivas. We'll have to ask him if he can even get back onto the podium, what he was thinking of there. The Mercedes with a Porsche. It's a lot of odd strategy calls so far throughout this race. We have Vapor Cobalt and Knowing Light, though. P6 and P7, they were all the way down at the back at one point, both of them were. And now they're back up, trying to move up and get into the points. We know Knowing Light will have to pit again. But it appears the tire to be on right now is that medium tire. Especially with the two safety cars, going to be able to get to the end of the Grand Prix. So we see Mooks and Draco trying to go around the outside, completely outbreaks himself, and then comes back on and hits Mooks. Catfish just about able to avoid it. He's trying to go back forward. He's going to avoid all the traffic there. So we see Prince getting past Catfish, taking advantage of the situation. Catfish had to brake early. He's going to try to go up the inside. Prince leaves him the space. Very good driving between the two of them, leaving each other lots of space. And Mooks is going to come away into the points and up into P10 there. See very close 1 second gaps throughout the field right now. That safety car bunching everybody up, mixing up your strategies and changing quite a bit. We had pretty green flag running until that moment by Walker, and now it's been quite a lot of incidents, little taps here and there. But just looked like dangerous re-entry there by Draco. Granny goes fastest overall right now, 137.6, so he's absolutely flying out there. Up to P8 at the moment. We have a little bit of an ending glitch right now with Cobalt, but he is gaining on the back of the Alfa Romeo driver of Hash. Those hard tires just don't have the pace, about a second a lap slower than the mediums. So we'll see if he can do anything to defend right here, but I feel like this is going to be a pretty easy move for Cobalt. You can already see Knowing Light losing a little bit of pace on those softs. Granny Boy catching the back of him as well. We see Cobalt down the inside of Hash. He gets the move done. Can Granny get it done as well? Under braking. They're oh so tight. The Alfa Romeo getting in the way, but they all avoid him. And it's a double overtake into turn 8 and 9. Now, the drivers behind will have the DRS, but nobody able to counterattack there. Hash still behind Vapor Cobalt, who's all over the back of Sohan. We have a yellow flag in Sector 2. Not sure what happened there. Looks like Purple Catfish with a DNF. Rivas already getting passed by Owen Wilson here. He's got to try to go into the pits, but he doesn't get the safety car. So he avoids the pits. He's going to try to potentially hang out for a safety car. But all this time, losing more and more time. Granny Boy up to the back of Hash right now. 2/10 behind the Alfa Romeo. Can he get a move done on Hash? He's going to wait until the DRS is owned. Or potentially trying to get a better exit here into the hard left-hander of turn 2 and 4. Unable to be close enough there. He's not going to go for the move. Probably try to set it up through the hairpin onto the front straight. See Mooks in 12th, Prince 13th. With both Mercedes working their way back up to the points in 10th and 11th respectively. Now Cobalt closing in on the back of Sohan. Can have the DRS. Very hard to defend through here. Sohan easily overtaken there by Cobalt. Cobalt gets back to the racing line, with Granny getting by Hash as well. Now we'll see Sohan getting the DRS here on the exit. Cobalt with a little bit of tire spin there. Same lap old tires. Cobalt, you see that flashing light. Sohan knows he's out of ERS right now. Can he get the move done? He's not even going to attempt it. He's going to play it easy right now, knowing he's P5. Rivas is going to have to pit. So that could open the door for Sohan going into Mexico potentially, if Sohan can hold on and get as many points as he can here in this race. King Caesar with another time penalty. Rivas Island still out, not pitting yet. 9 laps to go in this Grand Prix as they cross the start-finish line. 10-lap old softs. We talked about how much they go off. You can already see Rivas barely hanging on to Owen Wilson. So Rivas definitely going to look back at that decision. A very poor strategy call. I wonder if Granny potentially could have gotten it done. Granny crashing out may have saved his race potentially and given him a chance at the podium. If he had done down the softs, who knows if he would have gotten the gap. We know he has a little bit more pace than Rivas, but Rivas really struggling out there on the strategy they both decided to go on. This might have been Owen Wilson's race no matter what. We'll never know. But Granny's going to try to fight back and at least get a podium here. He's on the back of Sohan, both of them with DRS. Sohan moves to the inside to defend. Granny, you can already see he's out of ERS, having to overtake all the back markers. Everybody trying to get their little fight with the leader, get their fight with the champion, try to show that they can race with the best. But Granny has gotten past them all. He's back up to P5 right now. Favorite Cobalt ahead on 3-lap older medium tires. We know Granny's will get to the end. Will Serial Killer and Cobalt? We believe they should after the safety car. But anything can really happen here. Currently, pretty big gaps through the back of the field. This battle from 8th on up, though, has been pretty consistent throughout the day. And now Serial Killer's gotten past Rivas as he dives into the pits. Going to be throwing on the soft compound tires. Hopefully he can come out around ahead of the Mercedes, but I don't think he's even going to get there. He's going to be out of the points. So it's going to be very, very hard for Rivas to do anything about this race. Let's see him coming under the bridge. Keep your wing clean, and he's going to come out behind the 2 Mercedes in P10. So unfortunate for Rivas. A poor choice on strategy is going to cost him big time on the points. Mooks 18-lap old mediums. Behind Rivas has not pit yet. Granny Boy making his move past Cobalt nice and easy around the inside with the use of DRS. Will Cobalt try to fight back though? Out of the exit, I don't believe so. Not many ERS left in that energy system. And Granny is going to hold the position up into P3. Can he, though, close the gap up to Owen Wilson and take this race win? Be very interesting to see Serial Killer on his debut in P2 in the Williams, replacing Jay Steed here today after Jay Steed's best performance of the year. And Owen Wilson finally able to put a race together right now to show the pace he had throughout the season. Granny Boy going to have to gain a second a lap on Owen Wilson to catch him. Let's see Owen Wilson's time here. It's a 1:39.3, and we'll compare it to Granny Boy's time as he comes across the line. Granny with a 1:37.9. So Granny definitely with the pace right now. Serial Killer actually pitting. So Serial Killer had a pit too. So I don't know if tire wear is just higher around this circuit than the drivers expected. But that moves Cobalt up into P3 now. Sohan in P4, both on 13-lap-old medium tires. So Rivas and Serial Killer now on softs. Rivas up into P9. Mooks into the pits as well. Gets a speeding penalty into the pit lane. We'll hop. Oh, Rivas has lost it. Rivas spins it going into turn 5 or turn 6 on the curb. I believe turn 5 there. I don't know if he was hit. As he was going in there, we saw him very close to the Mercedes on the timing screens. We see Granny Boy 7.7 behind Owen Wilson. Can Owen Wilson hold this lead? He's got about 6.5 laps to go, 7.5 seconds of lead. But Granny Boy, as we saw, at least on that one lap, we'll try to check it after this, at the end of this lap as well. We'll see what the times are, see how much Granny is gaining, and when we may get the attack. If he can get in that 1 second gap to Owen Wilson, he will get the DRS, but we have an absolute thriller on our hands here to end the season at Abu Dhabi. Under the lights, the Mercedes in P7 and P8 working their way back up the grid. Guapo on those hard tires. They're going to be starting to lose just a little bit of life as we go. Serial Killer up in P9, so he will be the target now. We know Rivas would have been around where he is, so we'll see. Assume Rivas could have stayed ahead of him, and we'll see where Serial Killer can get to see where Rivas Island's strategy would have gotten him. Either way, it was very odd to see Serial Killer pitting there, as we see Knowing Light with the fastest lap of the race with a 1:37.4. Will Night Catsy have the DRS on his teammate ahead? It doesn't appear so. No, he doesn't. That's going to give Serial Killer a chance here. You can see Knight out of ERS. The light flashing, Serial Killer under braking on these soft tires. Just going to try to set the move up, get the good exit going on to this next DRS straight. Both of the drivers out of ERS, but Serial Killer is going to have DRS. Can he make the move happen here? Going to the outside of Night Catsy into the braking zone of end sector 2. Side by side, they're in each other a little bit of lag there maybe from Night Catsy, but it helps Serial Killer to get the move done. He's up into P8 on those soft tires. Next up the road, Ricky Star on 8-lap-old medium tires. And we see Hash now starting to close in on Sohan. Sohan 14-lap-old mediums. Looking like Hash, these hard tires starting to come towards him more and more. Hop on board with the racing, wow, with the Racing Orlin Alfa Romeo. P5 right now, and P1. Looks like Owen Wilson, 5.8 second gap for the leader up ahead. We'll have to keep our eye on that battle throughout the race, but we'll watch a couple of these battles back here before we get to the final couple of laps. If Owen Wilson can hold on here, let's check the penalty situation as well. Both drivers with 3-second penalties, 6 seconds for Hash in P5, and then Guapo and Ricky Start with nothing. Serial Killer, Rivas 3-second piece, and Knight with nothing as well. So this poor performance by Rivas is going to give Sohan a chance to potentially get P3 in the Drivers' Championship. Currently already won by Granny Boy, second place Vapor Cobalt. Walker did have a pretty good hold on P2. The TNFs, every single race since Hungary, have not played into his hands here. Another DNF today for Walker. But we'll have to see what he can do as the season comes to an end, and maybe get back on form at the start of the year next year. But we see Hash currently hanging onto the back. We'll hop up to Owen Wilson here. Looks like Granny might have only caught him by about a second that lap. Let's check the lap times here. Owen Wilson trying to do everything he can. He has 4 laps left and a 4.9 second gap. A 1:39.1 that lap from Owen Wilson. Granny with a 1:38.6, so only half a second gain that lap from Granny. Granny's trying to recover some ERS, but he had to use a lot battling through the field, so it's going to cost him quite a bit of time here. We'll have to tune in for the last couple of laps, see if Granny can close that gap, get into that 1 second gap, and maybe use that DRS to attack. He has 2 laps fresher tires. The mediums are going to be very close to the end of their lifespan. We're showing 17 to 18 laps of a life on the medium tires is what Pirelli projects. We had a couple of safety cars which will help out, but these medium tires are going to be right on the limit here as we close in on the end of the Grand Prix. Serial Killer gets past Ricky Starr. He's now trying to get Guapo. Guapo with no ERS left. Serial Killer with no ERS, but he's got a lot fresher tires, a lot softer tires, a lot more grip, and a lot more confidence right now. Serial Killer. Oh, Guapo actually. A little Kamui Kobayashi right there trying to go bonsai around the outside. Unable to get it done though and hold up Serial Killer. He gets through. Guapo has the DRS, but trying to fight that move on the entry to turns 8 and 9. It's going to allow Serial Killer to hold the lead here and try to open up this gap and close in on Hash. 3 seconds behind Hash ahead. We'll hop back up to Owen Wilson right now. Currently only 3 seconds for both drivers on the lead right now. Oh no. Fuck. And I believe Owen may have lagged out of the session and his car ends up deciding to pit. Nothing against Granny Boy, but we had another fantastic battle on our hands. Granny Boy looks like he's now going to run away with this victory, assuming his tires do not pop. Oh my goodness. Cobalt P2 right now. Hash in P3. Sohan is going to be P4 in the Ferrari. Serial Killer in P5. We can't see the gaps right now. We know Serial Killer has these soft tires. He's going to try to go past Sohan here now. Serial Killer up to P4 with Hash next up the road, just up the road on those hard tires. We see Majestic actually closing in on the back of Mooks here. Mooks on those soft tires. I wonder if it's showing that Majestic is catching Mooks, which shouldn't be the case. Mooks on those new soft tires, I believe he would have just overtaken Majestic. Majestic will have some DRS here. See King Caesar trying to come back at Granny Boy on those new soft tires. Cobalt on those 17-lap old mediums. We'll have to see if they hold. They might give if he's been pushing them a little bit too hard here. We see the drivers coming around to the front straight to start the penultimate lap of the race. Serial Killer 0.4 of a second behind Hash right now. Rivas going into the pits, might be trying to go for fastest lap of the day. He damaged his wing. Just fell apart for Rivas. He was on pole and Guapo loses it. He's able to barely keep it out of the wall. I think it looks like his wing is still good, but 17 lap all hards. He feels the pressure behind from Owen Wilson. Now can Owen Wilson at least fight back, maybe get P5? Let's see. He doesn't have a lot of ERS left. Ricky's going to try to defend this all the way. Guapo, though, P8, 2 seconds behind. Knight is next up the road, 17-lap old medium tires. Him and Cobalt with the oldest mediums on the road. We'll have to see if they can get them to the end here. We see Owen getting a very, very squirrely exit, trying to get on the power as early as possible. You can see really frustrated by the lag there, getting kicked from the session at the absolute worst time. And we see Hash side by side with Serial Killer. Serial Killer is going to get the move done up into the podium places for Serial Killer on his debut in the Savior 6 Racing League. And Owen Wilson, he's going to try to get a good exit on Ricky Star here. Ricky Star's light flashing. He's going to try to go up the inside. This is going to be very tight. Oh, right past the orange marker. And he gets the move done. What a move by Owen Wilson. He was probably millimeters from clipping that orange part of the armco. And he gets the move done. He needed to right there if he wants this chance to get past Sohan as well. Penalty situation. All these drivers with 3 seconds and Hash with 6. So he's already getting past Sohan. Will he be able to catch up to Hash? He's already ahead of him on penalties, but the Alfa Romeo team looking very good today. P4 and P5. Granny Boy holding the lead of this race for the time being. Cobalt will ride on board with him. Keep an eye on his tires. 19-lap-old medium tires. They're going to be right on the fringe of making it here today. Can't ride on board with him. Serial Killer, though, has something to say about this on these new softs. I think he might be able to get the move done here. He's going to try to set up the move to go down this next DRS straight. Cobalt intentionally a little bit slow, trying to throw Serial Killer off. We'll have to see the move coming down here to the end of the second DRS straight. He's going to try to go on the outside. Can he make it stick? Side by side, it's so tight through here. There's barely room for one car. They find room for 2 cars, and Cobalt's able to defend it in the last overtaking opportunity, we believe. We'll hop up to Granny Boy, unfortunately. We're not going to watch that battle for the time being. We'll see Granny Boy coming around the penultimate corner, though. And around the final corner, capping off an unbelievable inaugural season for Savior 6 Racing League. The fireworks are going. And he does a donut at the finish line, celebrating the win. Granny is showboating and getting the win. Oh, the battles behind were so close. Looks like Cobalt eventually got P3. Cobalt got P2. Serial Killer with P3. Ricky Star P4. Hash in P5. Sohan 6. And Owen Wilson 7. They must have gotten some sort of penalties there towards the end of the race. Unfortunate there, the teammates coming together were P4 and P5, both falling down the order a little bit though. I think it was Ricky Star had no penalties, and Sohan probably only had 3. Guapo able to hold on for P9, and Knowing Light gets P10. Rivas unable to set the fastest lap of the day. I didn't see it anyway. We wait for a few other drivers to finish. Draco coming around the line. Majestic coming across. Chief Chris taking it all in at the end of our inaugural season here. Round 22. Granny Boy, champion of the world. Constructors champions. And Cobalt in P2 was second in the driver's standing. What a way to finish off Serial Killer on his debut, showing he may have the stuff to potentially compete with Cobalt and Granny Boy. An unbelievable battle there on the final lap. Amazing defense from Cobalt to hold off Serial Killer there. Unfortunate for Owen, he probably had the win in hand. See Chief celebrating a bit. And the Red Bull of King Caesar celebrating as well, finishing the race. 17th, 3 retirements here today. Game saying driver of the day to Knowing Light after starting from P17. A good performance from him. I would like to say my driver of the day, though, Serial Killer, on his debut, getting the podium in his first race in Savior 6 Racing League. An unbelievable performance from all the drivers here today. I want to thank everybody for an unbelievable season and a great time. And keep your eyes peeled. If we reschedule Mexico to next weekend, the schedule will be launched by video on our Savior 6 YouTube page, probably the Monday or Tuesday after that race. If we decide not to do Mexico, we may drop the calendar a bit early, potentially Thursday of next week. But the calendar is now set for a shortened season at the end of F1 2020. But congratulations, Granny Boy, winner of the race, winner of the Drivers' Championship, winner of the Constructors' Championship. He's done it all this year. A great performance overall. And stay tuned for some post-race interviews here from the podium drivers. sorry. I thought I was talking. I just said the whole thing and you didn't respond. All right, ready?
Yep, go.
All right, and here we are, P1 top step at the podium. Once again, it's Granny Boy. Unfortunately, we were not entitled to that incredible battle that would have been on the last lap between you and Owen Wilson. Watching the timing screens, we saw you guys pretty much would have caught each other on the last lap and would have been a thrilling finish. But where you need to be, when you need to be, but and an unbelievable way to cap off your season. Drivers champion, constructors champion, and winning the final race of the season with some celebratory donuts. You had so much of a lead. It was a great sight to see. How'd you feel today?
Oh, amazing, mate. Absolutely amazing. I pitted in for the softs. I just thought, well, to the mediums, I just thought, do you know what? It's the last race. Everything's done. Let's just go for it. And then the safety car came out, and I caught up with everyone. I just started laughing. I thought, this is GG's. So, just carried it through the field. And, it was a good race. It was a bit of shit about Owen Wilson, man. I feel really gutted for him, to be honest. I was catching. He said he was saving some errors for that last couple of laps. Because I knew it was going to be between, like, a second or a second and a half of me catching him on the last couple of laps.
Face.
But, that is really, really unfortunate for him today. I feel so bad for him.
Hey, he was showing the pace, but I mean, it's a good thing to see for the league. A lot of these guys starting to get a little bit faster. You're getting challenged a little bit more often here and there. Granted, I didn't see what happened. Did you pit or did you spin? You just pit onto the mediums?
Yeah, I just pit on the mediums, mate.
I was trying to see because I didn't see you spin anywhere, and then all of a sudden you were in the back. I was trying to figure out what happened. So you pit onto the mediums, but making a little challenge for yourself, but you capitalized on it today. And we're looking forward to if we end up doing Mexico at the end of the year. It'll be a fun race to see for the finale, but either way, if not, hopefully see you at least next season or at Mexico, whichever happens.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm going to be here next season. Hopefully the guys, as you said, there is a few guys there now with the pace. There's a few new guys as well, so I'm hoping the old guys like Walker, Cobalt are still going to be up there with me. And just hopefully there's going to be more, sort of battles on the way through to not make you be a bit tired on stream, mate.
Hey, it was a pretty good race. There were some good battles, even with it being Abu Dhabi. So we saw some pace from Walker, at least in quali a little bit. Just needs to get that consistency. It's very hard transitioning though. So hopefully he keeps at it, and he's definitely getting the pace back. Just needs to get the consistency.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. No, it's a great season with the Savior 6. I've really enjoyed it. Drivers and constructors has been fantastic. Enjoy the blokes that are in there, the guys, the girls, if there's any. It's been really good. It's been really, really good.
All right. Well, thank you for the words, Granny, and enjoy your off season. Do some drinking, celebrating.
Yes, absolutely. Cheers for that, AT.
Take it easy. See ya.
Cheers. Bye. Bye.
And we welcome in P2 today, Vapor Cobalt. After an unfortunate, we saw some unfortunate wing damage, you were able to find a way to come back. How would you describe your race overall?
I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of stressful. Honestly, the spin in qualifying, I guess just my setup just doesn't like that curb, and I must have just clipped that curb and spun. Other than that, it was pretty awesome. Just coming and trying to battle my way back up, sticking on those mediums. Definitely were dying towards the end. But yeah, it was just exhilarating trying to go back through that field and seeing where I was ending up. I wasn't expecting to get P2, but can't be mad about it.
Yeah, a lot of people going from the back up to the front. Granny was in the back at one point, got up to 1. You were in the back basically at one point, got to P2. And I just want to talk about that last lap defense, basically that end of that second DRS straight. That was an absolutely unbelievable defense it looked like from you on those older tires as well. Very good battling between the two of you.
Yeah, I would say the last 3 laps, I was just struggling for grip. Granted, Abu Dhabi isn't my best track. I was actually doing time trial. I was like 6/10 off my actual time that I set somehow. But I'm pretty happy with P2. Qualifying wasn't great, like I said, spinning, but I'll take it going from P5 to P20 back to P2. So I'm trying to fight through that field.
Yeah, some really nice overtakes and just really good driving overall. It was a pleasure having you this season, and if we do Mexico or not, I look forward to seeing you next season and potentially getting a couple more wins in.
Oh yeah, I plan on staying for next season. What car? You never know.
Yeah, I mean P2 in the drivers, you'll get the second choice. So.
Yeah, hopefully Grant doesn't choose me.
All right. Well, hey, it was a great year having you, talking to you, and thanks for everything. And good luck in the off season. Yeah. Do a little bit of celebrating for the P2, but
can't believe it's already been 22 races. Doesn't feel that long.
Flies by.
Yeah. Alrighty, man.
Take it easy, Cobalt. See ya.
Yep.
And doesn't appear we're going to be able to get Serial Killer on. Pretty late over where he is. But amazing debut performance from him, getting P3 and getting the podium here today. So congratulations to him, and I look forward to seeing everybody at Mexico or next season, whichever happens. It's a pleasure commentating the races I could with everybody, and good luck and enjoy the short break.